Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a marrow and honey cake. Now it's something that I've been making for years. I got this recipe off a friend when I was doing my teacher training and I've just adapted it slightly, so thank you Emily for the recipe. So marrows are in season in the UK at the minute and there is absolutely loads, and instead of having your boring stuffed marrow, make a cake out of it. It's delicious. The ingredients that you'll need is 250 ml of oil. I'm using sunflower oil. You could use groundnut oil or just vegetable oil, that's fine. Then I'm using 150 grams of caster sugar and 50 grams of soft brown sugar. I'm using 3 large eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla essence, a tablespoon of honey. I'll be then adding, for extra flavour, a teaspoon of ground ginger. I'll be using 225 grams of self-raising flour. Then I've got 150 grams of ground almonds. You don't need to add the ground almonds, but replace that weight in self-raising flour if you're not going to use them. And then I've got 225 grams of marrow that I have just grated. Now I took the seeds out of the marrow and I took the skin off as well, because sometimes that can be hard, but you can leave the skin on if you want. It does give a nice good colour to the cake. I'm now going to show you how to make the cake. You want to preheat your oven to 170 degrees fan. If you need any conversions, look in the description. I will be using a 24 centimetre cake tin that I have just greased lightly with some butter. And you'll need a sieve and a spatula, and I'm going to be using an electric whisk. So the first thing you need to do is whisk up your eggs. So crack your eggs into the bowl. And you're going to whisk the eggs until they're nice, light and fluffy. The eggs are nice, light and fluffy, and look at that volume that has been added to the bowl. The next thing that you want to do is you're going to add your sugar. Then you will add your honey and a teaspoon of the vanilla extract and whisk this again. All of the sugar has now been whisked into the eggs with the vanilla and the honey. The next thing you're going to do is add all of the oil. Now I know that it looks like a lot, but this is what adds a lot of moisture along with the marrow, but this adds a lot of moisture into the cake. You're now going to whisk this again. The next step is to sieve in the self-raising flour and the ginger. So you want to make sure that you're incorporating all of the air when you sieve this in. Then whisk again. Now is the time to add your ground almonds and add your marrow. And then you're just going to fold this in. So you fold it in using the figure of 8. This also helps to make sure that all the flour has been incorporated from the side of the bowl. So you just go around in the figure of 8. This incorporates the air and it helps trap the air that you've already incorporated by whisking it. And this is what will give a really nice light sponge. So I'm going to carry on doing this. All of the marrow and the ground almonds have now been combined into the mixture. And you just want to place this into your greased tin. Now I don't line the tin, I don't think it needs to. So just place this all in and smooth it off to make sure it's nice and even. Now I'm going to cook this in the oven for roughly 45 to 50 minutes. The way that you can test it is if you put a skewer through the middle and if it comes back clean, it is cooked. Now if it starts to brown on the top a little bit too much whilst cooking, then put some tin foil over the tin and it will prevent it from burning. So I will see you when this is done. The cake is out of the oven. I let it cool in the tin for 5 minutes on a cooling rack first. Then I took it out the tin and left it for a further 10 minutes to cool. And I've just dusted mine with some icing sugar. Now, if you want a more risen cake, then what I would recommend is that you use all self-raising flour instead of adding some ground almonds. I just think that ground almonds do add a really lovely texture and that hint of almond taste. So let's just see how it is. I'll cut into it first. So it feels nice and light when you cut into it. We'll see. So, lovely sponge. It looks really, really moist and delicious. So I can't wait to get into this. It is just one of those cakes that's really Moorish. You don't need loads of icing on it or decorations. It's just really nice, plain and simple with a lovely cup of tea. Surprisingly, it is a really, really light sponge. Now, some cakes can be quite dense. This is rather light, and that's why I love making it so much. And people are always a bit like, marrow and cake? I'm like, wow, try it. It is delicious. Make sure you catch me every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday for more videos. I'll see you again.